Hello and welcome to episode 29 of the Roll Jump Media Podcast. I am joined by, I'm going to upgrade them, my co hosts as well. They've been on this for 29 episodes. I believe that it is time. My co hosts, uh, Jose and Luis. What's going on, guys? Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. Hello, everyone. Good morning, everyone.
Hey. All right, so today is pretty jam-packed. We have a lot of things popping off. Something this morning just happened, which is very exciting to me personally. So, some of those topics are going to be the next gen consoles review roundup, game reviews roundup, including Yakuza, Pikmin, Miles, and Astro's Playroom, Square Enix's and Nintendo's earnings, the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, which is what I was alluding to earlier, and we're going to be mentioning a couple of other things. But before we get into all of that, we are going to be talking about what we've been playing. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it.
All right, so I'll go first. Um, so this past week, I've actually been playing more than last week. I've been playing more games, um, so that's good. Uh, I'm continuing playing. I continued playing Mario Galaxy on the Switch. And um, I still haven't played that much of it, but I've had the chance to play a few hours. Um, Hopefully that continues because I really want to pass that game already. So I can
Okay.
play. So I can play. I'm thinking of playing Pikmin. But I don't know. We'll see. So that's on the Switch. On my 2DS, I also continue playing Samus Returns. So far, I'm really enjoying the 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 gameplay, the mechanics of the game. Uh, I really I really enjoy the what's it called? The counter attack, the melee attack. Um, it's kind of challenging sometimes because you have to time it perfectly, so you don't take any damage from your enemies. I've died a few times already, but it encourages me to go back and you know do it better um, or actually complete what I want to do, which is kill the enemies or the boss or whatever.
Hmm.
And so I'm really enjoying that as well. And and then for the PS4, I've been playing a lot of Apex as well. Uh,
Yeah, you
I
have.
finally got to yeah I finally got to play the season 7 that it came out what 2 days ago I think. Wait, no,
Season
2 3 days
7,
ago.
the fourth. So what was that, like
Or
Wednesday? Wednesday night?
Wednesday night. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, it took me a bit to actually play season 7, but I finally played it. I don't know. I think I need to get a little bit more used to the map and like the new setting and the new things that they added, like the whole riding the ship around and be able to control that better and I
Mm-hmm.
don't know, get used to like that environment. Um, because it I don't know, cause it's a little bit more different because it's more there's more space. And just there's it might be harder to hide, I guess, or take cover.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, like from the few games that I played in the new map, it's you might be fighting one squad, but then be flanked by another one like next to you. I mean, behind you, and
Yeah,
it
they've.
gets very
Uh-huh.
it's very hectic. Yeah, you want to say?
No, I was gonna say, yeah, I feel like there's been more third parties, a little bit more
Yeah.
than, yeah, just because of the nature of the map, like you're saying.
Mhm. So I mean, it's a little bit more challenging, which I like as well. But I don't know. I feel like I die way faster now. So. I guess I just have to get good, I guess. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah,
same
I mean,
here.
I'm 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 still invested in the game. I don't know, Apex has become like a just like a good time, you know. It's one of those games that I don't really get tired of. Yeah, every time
Hmm.
I get into it, I'm like I get into it, you know, and I don't really get bored that easily. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty my gaming this week.
Sick. All right, Jose. It's time for you to steal the shine once again.
All right. So for me, well, first of all, Animal Crossing. That's the constant, the only constant in my life right now. Just kidding. Um, but uh, it's been good. Right now, I do feel like I just go in, do the daily stuff that I need to do, and then just stop playing. Um, so I'm not as engaged to it as I was before. Um, with the Halloween event over, a new month has come in, so there's new bugs and fish to catch. There's new furniture. So I mean that's something to look forward to. So I've been doing that. But most of my time has been spent playing Pikmin. We got Pikmin, what was it, like a week ago, maybe? Less than a week ago. Um, and so I've been playing that. I really enjoy that game. It's so much fun. I actually passed the main storyline already, the main story. Um, and I don't know, it felt shorter and easier than it did when I played on the Wii U. I don't know if I don't know why that is. But yeah, I've at first the controls were a little it felt a little weird to me because I was used to, playing with the Wii U pad and I got accustomed to that.
Hmm.
Um, so without having the pad, the screen on the pad, to help me out while playing, it felt a little off. But I got used to it very quickly. And actually, I was telling Luis, I feel like it's much easier, like it's much more um, natural with the Switch Pro control because I play with the Switch Pro. But even without the Switch Pro, even like on handheld mode, um, I feel like it's better than the Wii U pad after all. Once you get used to it.
Right.
But yeah, I played the main story. I'm thinking of um, playing it again on ultra spicy mode. That's like the hardest mode, um, and do that because there's some achievements in the game that you have to get, and I'm thinking of completing all of it as a completionist that I am. And what else? Some Pokemon I've been playing. With the new DLC. That was fun. It revived my interest in the game, not gonna lie.
Okay.
Before that, it was pretty abandoned on collecting dust because I already passed like the main, quests and all that.
Right.
But with this new, DLC, it actually refreshed it a little bit. Um, I don't know, it was um, engaging, so I was playing it as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Um, Nothing else. Pikmin pretty much took over my time.
I hear that. Is is that one of the few games on the Switch that offers like in-game achievements? How does it work? Does it
Um,
just pop up while you're playing?
yeah, uh-huh. Well, there's also like on the menu, there's a um, what is it, an icon where you can click on and it shows you like the different, um, like the list of achievements.
Okay.
And I mean, it tells you how to get each achievement, what you have to do. Um, but yeah, think of like Xenoblade Chronicles, like the achievement,
Ah, yeah.
where like the list is already there and it pretty much tells you how to get it. You just have to do it.
Right.
That's
Okay.
similar to that. But
Okay.
there's less, obviously there's less achievements than Xenoblade Chronicles. I want to say there's like 50 maybe achievements.
So a good handful.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's pretty
Okay.
pretty neat.
Cool, cool.
How about you?
All right, so for me, I want to talk a little bit more about Apex. So I'm gonna leave that for the
Hey,
second thing. But what happened? What happened? Something happened?
no.
Okay, my bad. All right. So I just wanted to mention that I'm still, for some reason, I just keep feeling like playing Mirror's Edge Catalyst. Weirdly enough, like that game and Apex kind of have a through line because in Apex there's a lot of movement, first person movement, and Mirror's Edge is all about first person movement. So maybe that's influencing my. It's kind of like a natural progression from Apex to Mirror's Edge and then Mirror's Edge to Apex. So hopefully I don't think the game's too long. So hopefully before next gen drops, the PS5 drops, I'll be able to complete that game, and then that will be my drum roll or my inauguration into the next gen. That's gonna be my goal. So by the next podcast, you'll hear me talk about how the game was overall, most likely. And for Apex, as Luis said, Apex they dropped season 7, and with season 7, the big thing was the new map. And with the new map, he also said that there's vehicles on the map. There's like a few vehicles. It's very lush, green, bright, and a good mix of outside and out exteriors and interiors for you to explore. And I really like the map so far. There's gaps this time, so um, you got to just kind of learn the map and not fall into those gaps. Some of the gaps they're non-traversable, like there's gates preventing you from going over, but there's some areas where you can just like jump down into a pit and you just fall straight down from the sky, and that is no fun, and you just instantly die. But yeah, I feel like Respawn did a really good job with the map, and for the gameplay, I feel like the gameplay hasn't changed all too much. I mean, people can just come at you pretty quickly now, especially with the vehicles. I feel like movement is more accentuated with the new map, not to just stay in one place, which puts you in more in danger if you're, because everybody else is trying to get to certain places. So really fun time. There was a little bit of a controversy with they changed the battle pass system, and people felt like it was going slower, and the achievements were, or the things you had to do were harder, and it felt like they were trying to keep people playing for longer for artificially. So the devs did address that, and time will tell. I think they already did do some things to make it a little bit easier for you to upgrade. That kind of thing is probably more uh, pertinent to me or more influential to me because I did buy the battle pass and I do want to unlock everything eventually. So the more user friendly that is, the better. I don't know if Luis, you had a similar like feeling that your levels were coming slower.
What levels? Like when you're leveling up?
Yeah, so like on the battle pass, you know how you go one, two, three, four.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you feel like it was going
Yeah.
slower or?
Yeah. Actually, not that you mention it, I do think I think it takes more time to level up.
Yeah.
Um, then I don't know, like I was saying, I don't know if that's if they did that on purpose. It's more
hmm
challenging, I guess.
hmm Yeah, it feels that way, but it seems like they're taking the community's feedback into mind and
Right.
making it more friendly. At the end of the day, it's a free-to-play game, and they're trying to make money without stepping on our toes. So
Right.
that dance is always a thing.
That is true.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd give the new season an A. It's overall A plus actually, just because the map is a much needed breath of fresh air. I feel like
Yeah.
it was a long
Yeah.
it was a time coming.
Yeah. That is true. When I said, I wasn't trying, when I was talking about the map,
Yeah.
um, Like I like it, and I like that they included a new map because, like you said, I think we needed it. It's different to me. Like
Hmm.
I said, there's more open space, and you have to think about your strategies and um, where you're gonna go and how you're gonna fight the other squads and stuff like that. So it
Right,
does
right.
make me think in new ways, and I like that. I like that that it changed the game a little bit, and
Hmm.
like you said, we needed that.
Right. But yeah, that's what I've been playing. Apex has been consuming my my week yet again. And next week, I'll hopefully everything goes right. I can pick up my PS5 with Miles Morales, and I'll give you guys my impressions of it since I'm a pretty big Spider-Man fan. Not to toot my own horn, but
It's true.
it is. Yeah. Thanks for that. Thanks for that. All right. So, are you guys ready to move on to the news segment of our podcast?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So, I feel like the number one thing we should talk about are the reviews for the PS5 and the Xbox Series S and X. I have a few reviews here. We can go ahead and start with we'll start with the PlayStation 5. So the first quote I have is from Matt Miller from Game Informer. He gave the PlayStation 5 console a 91 out of 100, and he says the PlayStation 5 is an incredibly powerful and sophisticated piece of gaming hardware, sometimes virtually eliminating the tedium of loading screens that have plagued console gaming for decades. Games look amazing thanks to new lighting techniques, especially on 4K displays, and a proprietary sound engine ensures an equally arresting aural experience. Like ear, aural, AUR.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. While its outward aesthetic is attractive, it is also empowering, and the design won't please everyone. A slick dashboard is easy to use and smartly designed and values what's important to you, most especially your leisure time. So that's the highest one that I picked from. I believe there were higher ones, but I feel like that one was pretty comprehensive. The PC Mag, they gave it an 80 out of 100, and something new that they added from Will Greenwald was the DualSense controller. Uh, he says it's the new DualSense controller. Takes several clever leaps forward in terms of gamepad functionality. Its only disappointing aspects in regards are to the PS5 are the chassis design and the lack of backward compatibility for pre PS4 PlayStation games. And the last thing I wanted to point out were a couple of criticisms from other outlets. The main ones were the size and the design. Even since it was revealed, a lot of people were either hit or miss with the size of it and the design. And another interesting criticism I found was that its download speeds haven't improved over the last generation, and they're a far cry from what Xbox Series X download speeds are. And that's from Rob Keys from Screen Rant. I don't know how accurate that is. I didn't. That's the only one person I uh, saw uh, review that, so I'll have to see if that's true. I'm not gonna have an Xbox Series X, but I can tell you if the download speeds are better from the PS4.
I know. I saw a video from Greg Miller from Kind of Funny.
Yeah.
He uploaded like a video on Twitter, I think, and he was comparing the loading times for the Avengers in uh, he put like the screen of the PS4 Pro, the Xbox Series X, and the PlayStation PS5,
Okay.
and it did show that the Series X was way faster, like 30 seconds or 40 seconds faster, I don't remember, than the PS5, and like 2 whole minutes faster than the PS4 Pro. So I don't know. I
Mm.
mean, I think both are still pretty fast, compared to the previous generation.
Right,
but
right.
it did show that the Series X was faster.
Mm,
So I don't know. I don't know. I haven't really seen much comparison to that as well either. So we'll see.
yeah. Um, I believe some outlets have been talking about it, but the first party games for PlayStation 5, like Miles Morales, like that thing loads in like 15 seconds. So I feel like the first party games we can expect like blazing fast, and
That's
for yeah, for third parties, will maybe the Xbox will just take the cake overall on that one.
that is true. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just a couple more things. The power of the next generation is not much on display, nor are there any compelling new features that make the PS5 feel truly next gen, with the possible exception of variable resistance triggers. And that's from Devin Caldaway from TechCrunch. So he feels like the next generation isn't much on display right now. But that was just another criticism that I pulled just for the sake of conversation. So overall for the PS5 and the same thing with the Xbox Series X, positive to very positive reviews overall. I feel like people are overall impressed with the system. Have you guys been seeing any other things about the systems? Do you feel like this is in line with what you would expect with next gen?
Um, yeah, I think for both the Xbox and the PS5, I think they're really focused a lot on like things like that, like loading times, uh,
Yeah, they said lighting
I guess
techniques.
graphic, yeah, like all of just little things, well, not little things, but like more, how would you say it? I
Um,
don't know, like things that will contribute to the overall experience when you're playing the game in their new console.
right.
Um,
Okay.
and um, I think I mean, they did it successfully by the looks of it. Um, so yeah, I think the most important part of um, the new console is for it to for any new console is for it to improve upon the last one. Um,
Yeah.
if it doesn't do that, then I think it defeats the purpose of releasing a new console. And so hearing that, the PS5 has, surpassed the PS4 in certain aspects, I think that makes it already like they achieved the goal. And I think it's gonna, the sales and the praise that it gets from fans and from, non-fans, um, will reflect that.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. Um, the one thing that I'm actually interested in trying out is the audio experience because ever since Cerny did his thing in March, telling us about the PS5, he was kind of saying like the audio experience, especially when you're wearing headphones, is going to be like something like you never experienced before when you're gaming. And I haven't really been tuned in to seeing what people have been saying about that, so I do want to experience that myself and see if the audio experience, because is just as good as it's been advertised. Because I don't know, do you guys wear headphones when you game, or does that is that important to you?
Yeah, me when um, well when I play like for example a PS4, sometimes I do try to wear headphones,
Right.
right, but it hasn't been like an essential, I guess, for me when I
Mm,
game. Um, but I do know that it enhances like the experience for a lot of people, and it is I think it's a what's it called, a it's something that enhances your experience basically, like the sound to be able
yes.
to play. So I thought about like gaming with like a headset or earphones, just so I can get that full experience as well. Because a lot of games do take a lot of consideration when it comes to sound and like the music and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So it was part of the whole experience as well.
Yeah. I think like two standout things that convinced me that I need to wear headphones pretty much like all the time was when I figured out in shooting games that you can hear things on certain sides of your ear. So like if something happening on the
Right.
right side, like you can hear the right side, and you're like, oh, okay, it's coming from that way.
Yeah.
That's like one thing that I was like, oh, dude, that's amazing. I don't know, it wasn't that long ago I figured that out, probably like a few years ago. And then um, Final Fantasy 14. I know I sing its praises a lot, but just the ambient sounds and the amazing music in that game, I feel like if you didn't have headphones on, you'll hear it and be like, oh yeah, that's good. But then you put those headphones on, you can hear every intonation and the craft that goes into the soundtrack and all that good stuff. It was like, oh my goodness, this is different in a good way.
It adds to the experience.
Yeah. When I get to Xenoblade Chronicles on the Switch, you know I'm wearing some headphones, man. I got to. All right, so are you guys ready to see what they said also about the Xbox Series X and S?
Yes, let's do it.
All right. So the first one I have here is from Ron Burke from Gaming Trend. He gave the Xbox Series X a 95 out of 100, and he says the Xbox Series X represents a massive improvement over its predecessors, with a blisteringly fast SSD, a powerful GPU, and an impossibly quiet cooling system. The system ushers in the 4K 60 frames era with a bang. Throw in far-reaching backwards compatibility, support for variable refresh rate, auto low latency input, and smart delivery, and this device is easily a must-have for this holiday season. Another one I have here is from Will Greenwald from Game Informer, who gave the Xbox Series X and S a 83 out of 100. The Xbox Series X and Series S introduced superb quality of life improvements like quick resume and the reduced load times over Xbox One or even Xbox One X, but don't expect a markedly different or revolutionary leap forward when you first power on the system. If you're simply looking for the best place to play your library of past, present, and future Xbox games, look no further than the Xbox Series S and X. And then um, some other criticisms that I pulled from other outlets. Uh, Multiple outlets did cite the lack of next gen games for Xbox in particular of being a drawback. And they also said that the UI is largely similar to the Xbox One. And that detail was from Chris Jarrod from Shack News. So yeah,
Interesting.
Xbox Series S and S also getting very good reviews, positive to very positive. Um, the main drawbacks being, the lack of next gen games like a Miles Morales or Demon Souls to play on it. So, do you guys have anything new to say about the Xbox other than what I've said, or have you seen anything on social media that you wanted to bring about?
Um, well, I have seen a lot of people pretty much point out what you just said. Just like the lack of games, pretty much. And I mean, if there's no games to play, then it kind of makes the console pointless because you don't. I mean, there's nothing to play on it, right? Um, I mean, and I say nothing just, like a
Yeah,
generalization. I know that there's games that you can play, um, but I guess there's not enough, or it could be a possibility that there's not enough incentive for people to buy it just now. Um, but yeah, I mean, as far as everything else goes, like I mentioned with the PS5, it seems to do its job at improving, some aspects that, the last console um, had. Um, I know that
yeah.
what was I gonna say? Like I blanked out.
While you figure it out, yeah. For the Xbox, like I've expressed to you guys that I was pretty interested in some of their franchises, and I feel like if you're not invested into the Xbox ecosystem right now, and you're like, oh, I can play my old Xbox games on Xbox Series S and X, that kind of mind frame, then it's kind of just not for you at the moment. You kind of have to wait to see what Xbox studios and their partners have to offer.
Yeah. I remember. I guess the only criticism for me is just the branding of the consoles. Um, I mean, just you right now reading off the reviews, you know, going back and forth with the Xbox, S and
Oh,
Xbox,
right.
S and it's just it's very I don't know. I don't know why Microsoft brands it like that. Like I don't know why they don't switch it up a little bit, or at least in a way that differentiates it from, past consoles. Um, but um, but yeah, I mean that's the only thing that I still don't get, and I probably won't ever. Um, it's just very complicated.
It's an American thing.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. It makes you wonder, like, because the Wii U suffered because of that. The branding being too similar to Wii. Um, I mean, I don't know if the Xbox will go through that, but I mean, it's definitely something that kind of makes you scratch your head. Like, okay, well, you saw this other, company do this, and it affected them.
Yeah,
You know, but it is what it is.
right. I feel like it's not gonna be that bad, but time will tell.
Yeah.
I feel like they'll sell pretty well. I feel like the PS5 is gonna pull ahead for a little while though, until they have something else that's compelling for people to get invested.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Halo.
Halo, that's right. Luis, do you have anything to add before we move on to something else? It's pretty much the same kind of deal, almost.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I
Yeah.
think you all said everything that needed to be said.
All right, cool. Okay. Well, before we move on, now that everything's been out in the wild pretty much, how has your what do you call it? Hype level, for lack of a better word, how has it been for the next gen since last we spoke?
And for me, I mean, it's pretty much been the same level of hype.
Yeah.
I still want to get a PS5. I wasn't able to pre-order one. Uh, yeah, and specifically a PlayStation 5. I think I'm more interested in the games that are coming out for the PS5, the PlayStation. But yeah, I'm still excited to try uh, like the new games coming out for the console.
Right.
Um, and I mean, I don't know, like I don't know what else to say.
Right. Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, got you.
I mean, one thing I will say is, I know, there were some pictures coming out like on social media that I saw, where people put the PS5 next to the other consoles just to like compare like the sizes.
Hmm.
Um, and I mean, at first when I saw the PS5, like the reveal, I really did like the design. I thought it was very, I thought it was nice. But when I saw those pictures of it next to the other consoles, it did kind of um, change my view on its design. Um, just because I feel like it's very, I don't know, like it's not, I don't know how to describe it. It's not sleek enough for me, I guess. I don't know. It's very um
Mm.
it's different. It's
The PS5?
clearly very very different. Yeah, the PS5, the
Okay.
design.
It
Um
kind of it kind of reminds me of like basketball shoes from the 2000s. Like they would be kind of like spaceship looking.
right, yeah. And I mean maybe that's what they were going for, like something more futuristic, more, you know, like that, very
Yeah.
but yeah, like I don't know. I guess because I'm used to like the PS consoles being very not necessarily simple, but very I think symmetrical is I think that's what bothers me. Like there's those spikes on one side. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
Yeah.
Um,
It kind of reminds me more of the PS3, the big fat PS3
Yeah. Uh-huh.
for some reason. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I guess my appreciation for the design of the console went down a little bit. Um, but yeah, I mean, everything else, I mean, just like Lee said, it's been pretty much the same. Um, it hasn't decreased or anything in terms of, performance or, you know,
Right.
but yeah, that was the only thing.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, for me, it's pretty much been the same too. I mean, I'm going to be getting it on launch day as long as everything goes well, and I feel like I'm not going to feel it until I get my hands on it in a way, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll just have to wait. Next things up are game a roundup of game reviews. I have four different games with ratings on them. I did include Pikmin 3 Deluxe this time because I forgot last time, so redemption. All right. So let's go ahead and start with Pikmin 3 Deluxe. I have it second, but let's go ahead and bump it up to first. Pikmin 3 Deluxe has an 85 top critic average, and 98% of critics are recommending it. What they have to say about Pikmin 3 Deluxe. Azaria Lopez from Noisy Pixel gave it a 9 out of 10, and he says, "It may have taken me almost 20 years to become a Pikmin fan, but consider me sold on the series. Pikmin 3 Deluxe is just a joy to play from beginning to end. The game has several timers that keep you on track, but it rarely makes you feel rushed. There's an added layer of accomplishment across each task you complete or day that passes where you don't lose any Pikmin. While some systems show their age in terms of environment and controls, there's a lot that makes it a must-play for Switch owners looking for a chill co-op experience." And Sebastian Quiroz from Atomics gave it a 90 out of 100 or 9 out of 10. Pikmin 3 Deluxe is the definitive version of the Wii U classic. More content, gameplay improvements, and co-op make this installment a must-have for Nintendo fans. So Pikmin 3 Deluxe, people have been digging it. It was very hard for me to find any drawbacks to it. I suppose like the length maybe in like one review I saw, but other than that, people have been digging this game quite immensely.
Yeah, I'm happy to hear that that first review that he mentioned that, he became a new fan of Pikmin with this game. Because that's pretty much what happened to us when we first played it. I mean, we never really had Pikmin on our radar at all. Um, but just we decided to just get that game because it came free, I think, right? When we bought the Wii U, it came with a free digital copy of our choice. Um, and we just decided to get that one, and
Hmm.
turned out to be a really fun game. And I'm really glad we got we chose that one because we discovered a new franchise that we fell in love with. But yeah, I pretty much agree with what those reviews said. It's a pretty, I don't know, it's a pretty relaxing game. And it's one of the few games that does provide co-op, like local multiplayer.
Uh-huh.
So that's really good too. It's really fun.
Yeah, those are in short supply these days. Just, so the
Yeah.
Switch is just a place where that just makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. The next game, are you guys ready to move on?
Yes.
Okay. The next game I have is Yakuza Like a Dragon. I feel like it's only on the it's the let me see if it's only on the Xbox Series X right now.
Right.
Yakuza Like a Dragon Systems.
It was a time exclusive, or
Yeah, I think so. November 10th, 2020. Windows, Xbox Series S and X. November 10th, 2020. PlayStation 5. Wait, what? I'm not sure what the systems are. You can go ahead and check
Right.
that yourself. It's kind of confusing. But this is the localization here for Yakuza Like a Dragon. Um, it has an 87 top critic average, so 2 points more than Pikmin actually. And not and 95% of critics recommend it, so a little bit lower than Pikmin, so it kind of evens out, I suppose. uh, so Donovan Erskine from SAC News gave it an 8 out of 10. He says, Yakuza Like a Dragon is a successful pivot from traditional Yakuza mainstays. The game goes heavy on style while still packing in enough substance to keep players satisfied. The party system and new RPG elements give players more ways to play than ever before. The turn-based combat is solid and never feels too foreign. Longtime fans of the series will appreciate what Ryu ga Gotoku Studio and Sega have to offer in Yakuza Like a Dragon. The second review is a quick excerpt I got from it. Michael Hyam from GameSpot gave it a 9 out of 10 and says Yakuza Like a Dragon's cast of misfits makes the wild RPG combat, absurd humor, and dramatic storytelling soar. And the main drawback that I saw from reviews is the turn-based battle system. I don't know if it just becomes a little too repetitive at some point, or it just becomes a little bit of a slog at certain points for some people, but that was the main drawback for the game. So, what have you guys been hearing about Like a Dragon? Have you been interested in it or the Yakuza series in general?
Honestly, I've heard about it and I've seen like videos on it. Um, it's a franchise that I'm not really interested in, to be honest. I'm not invested in the franchise.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's fair.
and I can really like, I don't know, I can't really say much about it, honestly.
Yeah, it's fine.
Uh, uh, uh,
Freaking Michael Huber from Easy Allies would be very upset with you and Ben
I
Moore.
know, I know.
Yeah.
But I know that there's some. Are there some RPG elements in this one?
Yeah, so instead of it being third person action, it's turn based.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember seeing some gameplay of this game. I mean, it looks cool, but yeah, it's just not like a franchise that I've had my eye on, so I really can't comment on it. But I'm glad it's doing well. I mean, it is a game that or a franchise that a lot of people like.
Hmm.
So I'm glad that it's doing well.
Yeah. I probably won't start with this one. I do plan. I think I have one Yakuza game that was like PlayStation Plus or something, so I have access to it. It's not high on the list, but maybe one day. Maybe one day. But yeah, so I share the same sentiment with you. I'm glad that it's doing very well. I have two more games. The next one is I'll say Miles Morales for last, and let's go ahead and go to Astro's Playroom. So Astro's Playroom has an 84 top critic average with 83% of critics recommending it. They said Astro's Playroom is a great showcase for the varied, impressive ways the DualSense can immerse you in next-gen games. That was from Jonathan Dornbush from IGN, who gave it an 8 out of 10. Um, the next review I have is from GamesBeat, written by Mike Minotti, who also gave it an 8 out of 10. He says, I love 3D platformers. You don't usually see this kind of charm and polish in the genre unless it has Mario's name attached to it. Granted, Astro isn't as acrobatic as our favorite Italian plumber. He has a simple moveset consisting of a jump, a hover, and some punches, but Astro's Playroom never feels dull for a second thanks to its unbounded creativity. And then the last one I have is from Paul Sullivan from COG Connected, who gave it a 93 out of 100. And this is an excerpt I got from the review. When I finished, I was still hungry for more. That's the kind of the only criticism I can levy against it. So Astro's Playroom, it's a pack-in with the PS5, and it seems to be excellent. Have you guys seen gameplay of it? Yeah, just
I
have you seen
haven't.
gameplay of it? Does it look cool?
I haven't. Have you?
No?
I haven't seen any gameplay for Astro.
Oh,
I
okay.
know that the I don't know if this is a sequel or it's just like a another game. Um, but I know the first one uh, did pretty well and it got a lot of praise. I think it was for the VR.
Oh, the
And,
rescue mission.
mhm.
Yeah.
So I mean it's cool, but yeah, I haven't really seen any gameplay for this one. I know it's meant to be like a game that showcases like the abilities of the PS5.
Yeah.
Is it's like the I don't know I don't want to say that
One,
the
two,
one to
three.
switch. I mean one to yeah one to switch yeah, for the
Nah,
Switch
that's
or
I think that's disrespectful to Astro.
yeah or like Wii Sports for the Wii and
Well, I think in terms of showcasing
right
the
showcasing
features,
what it can do and like the
Oh,
abilities that
sure, sure.
stuff like that
not quality wise.
right I'm pretty sure the quality is way better for Astro because you got more to do
Yeah.
but I haven't really seen much of this game so
Yeah, it's a 3D platformer. It has different environments just, to show off the dual sense from what I'm seeing. Um, yeah, it's just a really well-crafted platformer, and everybody gets to play it, so hopefully it gets some new fans, or everybody that's gonna get a PS5. All right, yeah. And the last game that I have here is Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, which has an 85 top critic average on OpenCritic and a 94% of critics recommending it. Paul Sullivan from COG Connected gave it a 92 out of 100, and he says it looks sensational and it's an absolute riot to play. Miles' story brings all the drama and feels it needs to, and highlights a community outside what we'd normally see on the drawing board for a game like this. Despite some bugginess, this is a game you want to show off your impressive new hardware. Jonathan Dorenbush from IGN gave it a 9 out of 10 and said that Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales is a fantastic follow-up telling a wonderful story while improving on the fundamentals of the first game. And lastly, we have Sammy Barker from Push Square who gave it an 8 out of 10 and says the overall gameplay structure may prove samey for those who failed to fall in love with Insomniac Games' previous effort, but anyone else will have a blast with this generous spin-off story. So Miles Morales also getting really good, I'm pretty much also getting good, very positive reviews. Um, there's been a lot of advertisement about this game, and I'm just happy that it lives up to the first game and even exceeds it in some ways.
Yeah. I think with sequels, it can be pretty hard sometimes to kind of, you know, live up to like the hype of um, the first game. I feel like this game really is. I mean, I think it's like the one game that's pretty much drawing in like all these new, not new players, but all these people to purchase a PS5. And I think it was a really um, smart way to go to choose Spider-Man as the game, to kind of lead the way for this next gen um, phase. Um, and I don't know. I
Hmm.
mean, from what I've seen, like it's like I haven't played any Spider-Man games. Don't kill me, Ray. um,
Man, we had to
but
change that.
it I don't know. It's a really pretty game, like every like image, everything that we've seen so far, like it really does a good job at highlighting what what the engine is capable of doing, what the console is capable of doing. And I think it's a really good, I don't know, like good promotion, not just for the game, but for like the console as well. Um,
Sure, yeah.
so I think I don't know. I think it's pretty good. It's doing really good. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, they're not struggling at all to, get it out there.
Hmm. How about you, Luis? You have any additional comments, or
I mean,
everything's been said?
I think everything has been said. I've been looking forward to this game. I want to play it. Um, but I mean, I also want to play the previous one. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's like 100% I'm gonna get the Ultimate Edition whenever I get a PS5. Um, but yeah, because basically what Jose said, it's such a pretty game. It looks like a pretty game. Everything I've seen from that game has been, amazing. I want to play it.
Hmm.
So if anyone out there has a PS5 pre-order one, please. But
Hook a
yeah, I
brother
mean,
up.
yeah. Um, I feel like it's gonna be one of those. Well, I mean, it already is, one of those staple franchises for PlayStation. So,
Right.
uh, it's I don't know, it's gonna do well, I think, and obviously, it's an understatement.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty hype.
Indeed. Uh, I'm very excited about this. A little part of me is kind of sad that Insomniac is kind of. I want Insomniac to make a new IP because I feel like their creativity was stifled before. Because before they did make a game for EA and it was called it was originally called Overstrike, I believe, and then turned into Fuse, and it was supposed to be a very um, artistic and colorful shooter kind of game. It was like back in like 2012 or something like that, and it ended up being like a gritty, um, almost for if you just look at it from the outside, kind of like a samey third-person shooter. I enjoyed it because I love third-person shooters, and it was well crafted. But I feel like if they're just like left to like just make a new franchise, do whatever you guys want, just bring it to life. I feel like we will be in for something truly, truly special. But I'm so happy that we're getting these wonderful Spider-Man games as well. So I'm conflicted, just a tad bit.
Do both.
And they're doing freaking Ratchet. Oh my gosh, these guys are insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good get by Sony. Yeah, so that's going to be the game review roundups or game reviews, whatever, however you say it. Review roundups for the games. And are you guys ready to move on to the next story that I have?
Let's do it.
All right, let's go. The next one is going to be about what should we go talk about? Yeah, we can talk about this. So we're going to talk about the earnings for Square Enix and Nintendo, with Square Enix being first. This is going to be their earnings from April through September. It's like the first half of their fiscal year. The details I have are from, of course, Square Enix themselves and Brendan Sinclair from GameIndustry.biz summarizing the information. So, Square Enix, they made $1.67 billion in revenue, which is a 46% increase in profits year over year. They sold about 12 million copies of new games, and the frontliners, of course, being Final Fantasy VII Remake and Avengers. I might be missing something else, but those are the two that come to mind. Avengers specifically sold uh, about $229 million worth of copies, but unfortunately they could not recoup their expenses for the game, and they reported an operating loss of $48.4 million.
Yikes.
Yeah, so a pretty expensive game to make, it seems like.
Yeah, I think because I saw a tweet yesterday actually that talked about that. It pretty much underperformed. I think they invested a lot
Yeah.
into that game,
Hmm.
and I don't know. I think it was released and it kind of fell off after that. Like I don't know what happened. I don't know. I don't know where the hype went. I don't know why people weren't engaged. I don't know if like that whole exclusive thing, had a lot to do with that. Um, but yeah,
Mm.
I'm not surprised because I wasn't hyped for it. But uh,
Yeah. Um, I was gonna say something, but I kind of forgot what it was. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So previously, I remember the Tomb Raider games, the reboots when they were coming out. They were doing well, like really well. Like we would see them like, oh my gosh, that game's doing really well. But Square's like, nah, it kind of underperformed for us. I'm like, how? How is it underperforming? And I guess it's just how much
it's fun.
money and uh, resources you put into a game. It just has to equate, and I guess in this situation, it just hasn't just yet. So I thought it was just interesting information. What do you think, Luigi? It's just information, but if you have anything,
Eh, um, no, I mean, I don't have any comment on Square. I mean,
yeah, yeah,
eh,
yeah.
you know, um, they don't support the Switch. That's why they're failing. I guess.
All right, all right.
I'm just kidding. Or
I
like,
got you. I got you. Yeah, I'm just probably fishing for something that's not there, but yeah, just some information, just for an update.
yeah,
All right, going to Nintendo's earnings. Of
that was
course,
kind of bad.
this is coming from Nintendo, and Michelle Toe from CNN Business did report on this. For Nintendo, their earnings for the first half of their fiscal year, April through September, their operating profits jumped 209% from $2.8 billion to $7.4 billion year over year, which is pretty bananas. These guys
Right.
just straight up tripled almost
Yeah,
yeah,
they earned.
their earnings. Tripled? No, I don't know. Nah, I can't find the multiplayer for that, but
Yeah,
209% increase. Yeah,
I mean that's still
which is
crazy.
still bonkers. Yeah,
Yeah.
they sold 12.5 million devices, which is Switch devices, I would assume, and that is an 81% increase year over year. They sold 14.2 million game copies, and some of the big ones, of course, there are others, but the ones that come to mind 3D All Stars, Paper Mario, and Animal Crossing. So Nintendo selling like elite numbers. Nobody's pretty much touching them in terms of just the boom they're having.
Yeah, their first
Yeah,
party game.
yeah. Um, Nothing much
I
more to
mean,
say about that. We've
yeah,
been saying that Nintendo's been crushing it throughout the whole year, starting with Animal Crossing. So good
And
for
I mean the
them.
holiday season coming up, and
That's
I'm
true.
sure that that number is gonna increase.
Oh, most definitely.
Hyrule Warriors is coming out too.
And Hyrule Wars is coming out. Man, what a year not for me, but just crazy, amazing for Nintendo.
Yeah, and did it, isn't Animal Crossing now like the second highest, no, the second most sold game?
Something like that. I don't have the official thing here, but it's like 26 million or something like that
Yeah,
sold.
yeah, it's pretty. Because I mean, the first one, the highest one is Mario Kart Deluxe,
Yeah.
uh,
Let me see
For
if I
the
can pull
Switch.
it up.
for the Switch. Yeah, and I think Animal Crossing came next. So Animal Crossing is still selling, um, and it's probably gonna continue to sell, and
Yeah.
it might become like the highest selling game in the Switch. It's insane.
Yeah. All right, so this is from the Nintendo website, it seems. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, you said it was correct. Almost 29 million units,
Damn.
28.99. Animal Crossing New Horizons, 26.04 million.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. And that's like the first year, Animal Crossing. It's insane.
when you successfully market a game for like every kind of gamer, it doesn't matter what you play, like you're going to like Animal Crossing just hit for everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah. But I mean,
Yeah.
Mario Kart Deluxe, I mean, that's a port, you know?
yeah.
I
And
know.
for it to still be number one, I mean, that's crazy as well.
Mario Kart
Yeah.
9, we need it.
They did add some stuff to Deluxe though, wasn't there? There was no battle mode, and there was a couple characters that weren't there though, right?
But
Yeah. And then Smash is third, then Zelda, then Pokemon. Top five.
top five.
Top five. All right. The last big thing that I wanted to talk about that just happened this morning for N7 Day, Mass Effect Legendary Edition was announced. We finally got an announcement that there's a remaster coming for Mass Effect, which is very exciting. This is from the BioWare blog, and this is what Casey Hudson, the VP and Studio GM of BioWare, had to say about the Legendary Edition. We've heard for years your request for a Mass Effect remaster, so we're super happy to finally reveal that we've been working on a remastered edition of the Mass Effect trilogy. For many months now, our team at BioWare has been hard at work updating the textures, shaders, models, effects, and technical features of three enormous games. Our goal was not to remake or reimagine the original games, but to modernize the experience so that fans and new players can experience the original work in its best possible form. It's been amazing to see the adventures of Commander Shepard take on new life in super sharp resolution, faster frame rates, and beautiful visual enhancements. Mass Effect Legendary Edition will include single player base content and DLC from Mass Effect, Mass Effect 2, and Mass Effect 3, plus promo weapons, armors, and packs, all remastered and optimized for 4K Ultra HD. It will be available in spring 2021 for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC, with forward compatibility and targeted enhancements on Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. More information to come in the new year.
With the
So,
Switch.
yeah, so immediately it's like no Switch version
Yeah.
announced. Man, Mass Effect is such a good series, and finally people like the fans were just hungry for this remaster. They just been wanting to dive right back into it and experience the amazingness of this series once again. And finally, BioWare acknowledged this. They've acknowledged it for a while, but they just couldn't say anything, I suppose. And we're gonna be getting it next year. So, man,
Pretty exciting.
feels
That's
good.
actually a franchise that interests me. Um, because I believe with Mass Effect you can make your own choices, right? Like you can.
Yeah. So there's different choices. It just gives you replayability, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty great. It's pretty great.
Yeah. I mean that's always been like a feature that's interested me. Um, just being able to kind of. I mean it's fun to play a game for what it is, but then to be able to kind of customize it, I guess, quote unquote, um, to what you decide to do in the game.
Hmm.
I think that adds a little more um, enjoyment to a game.
Yeah. I will say though, because there's different things that you can do. Like it's open to how your character will react. The animations can be a little lacking. Like if you're if somebody's coming in fresh and doesn't have that nostalgia, be like, oh, this looks a little grody. But that's taken into consideration, like it came out in 360 PS3 era. I'm
Right.
sure that they're going to be upgrading it, like they're saying, so that new players will not have that issue.
Nice.
Yeah. One bummer. I don't think that the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer is going to come, and they didn't really explicitly say. They said single player, base content, and DLC. and no mention of Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, which is man, it's amazing. I had never played it with friends, and it's one of my favorite multiplayer games I've ever played. So it's kind of a bummer it's not there, but it is what it is. Exciting stuff, man. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for the spring. I'm gonna dive right back into that. PS5, oof, heck yeah. All right, those are the big topics for our podcast. The rest is pretty much just some mentions. The first thing I wanted to mention is, as we know, the PS5 is closing in on its launch day, and Sony did say that PS5 launch day sales are going to be online only. This is from Sid Schumann on the PlayStation blog. He said, "In the interest of keeping our gamers, retailers, and staff safe amidst COVID-19, today we are confirming that all day of launch sales will be conducted through the online stores of our retail partners. Please don't plan on camping out or lining up at your local retailer on launch day in hopes of finding a PS5 console for purchase. Be safe, stay home, and place your order online."
That's really nice, considering.
Yes. The next mention that I have is that The Medium, a game that we've talked about before, it has been delayed to January 28th, 2021.
Right.
This information I got was from Destructoid, written by Brett Mac McDonsky. McDonsky. I try my best. They said this was their official statement or part of it from The Medium. It wasn't an easy choice to make, but one made due to the COVID-19 situation in Poland as well as the current schedule of other games on the market. And when they say schedule of other games on the market, I believe they were supposed to be releasing on December 10th, and there was a certain game that got pushed to December 10th. Do you guys know which I'm talking about?
Yep. Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk.
Yeah. So I'm thinking Cyberpunk had a lot to do with the delay and COVID-19 as well, but I feel like that's a good move. Put your game in the best position to succeed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was one more mention that I wanted to make. Da, 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 da. It was about Ratchet and Clank. Where is my putting? I have it here. Just one second. Ratchet and Clank, Ratchet and Clank. Oh no, my order's all messed up. Hold up, hold up. Okay, so basically, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Um, it was confirmed to be a PS5 exclusive by Insomniac on their official Twitter account.
Right.
So yeah, it's going to be on PS5 only, it would seem. That's basically all it was about. Yeah, and I got the information from Push Square, written by Robert Ramsey. So another game that's a showpiece for the PS5. It's been looking spectacular, and
Yeah.
can't wait for more information about that one.
There's no release yet for that one, right? Yet.
Yeah, no release date yet.
Okay.
Hmm. And that's gonna do it for the news part of our podcast. We're going to be moving on to pass or play. Do you guys have a game to put into the ring?
Yes, I do.
Okay, cool. All right, so if you're a new listener, how pass or play works is that we choose a quote from the back of a video game box. We present the quote to the rest of the panelists on this podcast, and we have to guess what the game is if we can, and if we would play it or not play it based on the description. So, Luis, do you have a preference? Do you want to go first or last?
I can go first.
Okay.
Yeah, you've gone first. Too many times now.
All right, for sure, for sure.
Give you a break. All right, so here it goes. um, Okay. You are you are blank, lead scientist aboard blank, working on a scientific breakthrough meant to alter humanity forever. As the first test subject, you are granted incredible powers at the cost of a fractured memory. But the experiments have gone awry and hostile alien organisms have overrun the station. As you uncover the secrets of your past, you must use your mind-bending powers and unique weapons to decide the fate of blank and all of humanity.
That kind of sounds similar to Jose's game from last week almost.
I mean, I think it's pretty like space.
Huh.
I thought of Doom first, but I don't think Doom has mind bending powers.
Yeah, the mind bending powers was kind of throwing me for a loop. Mind bending powers. And you said there was alien some species or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, hostile alien organisms.
Oh boy. Mind bending powers.
I would play it, only because it's. I mean, it sounds interesting based on the description, and it looks like it's set in space, so that's always fun. I don't. I can't think of a guess though. It's not Portal. Um,
Hmm. Yeah, I think I've exhausted all my knowledge on mind bending power stuff, unless it's the same franchise again. uh, I think I'm gonna
Okay.
pass on this one, Chief.
You're gonna pass?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna
All right,
pass
so
on this one.
we gotta play and we gotta pass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should I give a reason why?
Sure.
Eh, I feel like when you get into mind bending power territory, it kind of means it's going to be a janky game. I don't know why. I feel like mind bending powers. Oh snap! We gotta pump the brakes a little bit, but maybe it's unfounded on my part.
All right. Fair enough. Yeah. We all have our what's it
Preferences.
called? Preferences. Yeah.
Yeah.
Figured
All
out. Sorry.
right.
But yeah, so one pass, one play. The game is Prey.
Oh, okay.
Prey. So,
Prey. Dang it. Okay.
mhm. Yeah, I don't know. I'll say, have you heard of this game?
Man, I never. I didn't think about Prey having mind bending abilities. I'm not that familiar with the franchise. Dang it.
Yeah, I'm not familiar, too familiar with it either.
Yeah.
But I remember they, I think they showcased Prey 2 in, was it last week? No, 2 E3s ago, I think. And I
Hmm.
mean, it looked fun enough, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Those creatures look kind of terrifying. The Prey 2 ones.
uh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Are you interested in playing that one at some point?
Mm, maybe. Uh, like I don't know. I kind of like um. I mean, well, it's hard to say. I've said before, like in the podcast, that I'm kind of like wary when it comes to like space games and like sci-fi games.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know. Like it looked pretty cool. So maybe.
Okay.
But yeah,
All right.
what you got
That's
for us?
okay. Okay. So me next. Me next. Ooh, okay. Here we go. The destiny of the world, the heart of of oh, the destiny of the world, the heart of one hero. It is written that the dragon seeks out those who would stand up against the darkness. They say that one whose heart is taken is forever changed. You have been chosen. Your destiny now lies with the dragon. You are now a blank. And then this is a description of how the game plays. Action. Experience a new type of highly stylized action combat. Unlimited freedom. Embark on an epic adventure with the freedom to explore and interact in a rich, living, and breathing world. Customization. Develop your customized character and two chosen support characters. Share your support characters online. When they return, you'll gain earned experience and loot. End of quote.
Hmm. Okay, so I immediately thought of Monster Hunter. Um,
Yeah, when you say like the support that you can send up for support and gain experience,
Oh, okay, yeah.
but
but I don't know which one.
So when I say support characters, there's a specific name for them. I thought it would give it away if I gave the proper noun for what they're called.
mhm.
Oh,
Eh,
okay.
As well as your customized character is called something. I think they're called the same thing. I'm not sure, but let me see.
I was also thinking Skyrim for some reason.
It
Um,
does sound Skyrim-y, doesn't it?
yeah,
Yeah,
because you're like the Dragonborn, you know.
yeah.
But that whole support thing, um, maybe I was also thinking of Dragon's Dogma, but I don't really know much about the game. Um, just the
Okay.
whole dragon thing. Uh, but I mean, since it sounds like a lot like Skyrim, I mean, I fell in love with Skyrim, so I'll play this. It sounds intriguing, and I mean, it's an adventure game, so I'm always up for those.
Yeah. Yeah,
I would play
so
two, but
I was gonna do a quick clarification. Sorry, Jose.
okay, go ahead.
So yeah, the main character and your support characters, they're called the same thing, but except it's the main character is called. There's like a adjective at the beginning of the main one and another adjective for the support character.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want me to read the first part of the quote before I get into like what the game is about?
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I feel like I was a little shaky the first time, that's why. The destiny of the world, the heart of one hero. It is written that the dragon seeks out those who would stand up against the darkness. They say that the one whose heart is taken is forever changed. You have been chosen. Your destiny now lies with the dragon.
Okay, so it's very specific. Like it's a dragon, you know. So I don't think it's Monster Hunter. Um, but then what other game focuses on dragon?
Spiral.
See, Dragon Quest.
I don't know. It might be.
Could be. I would play it. Um, but I don't know. I don't know the guess. I want to say Dragon Quest, but I don't think it's Dragon Quest because I don't think there's support characters in Dragon Quest. I mean, the fact that there are supporting characters makes me feel like it's like there's some combat or fighting element in there, you know? Um, I don't know. I'll play, but I have no guess.
Okay. And so two plays and Luigi, you're going with Skyrim?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. You did mention the title of this game is not Skyrim. It is Dragon's Dogma.
Damn.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Dragon's
very
Dogma
good.
Dark Arisen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, so it was You Are Now and Arisen.
A recent.
Recent.
Yeah, I think Arisen would have gave it away. I don't know if
No,
no, maybe I was a
I was
little too
actually thinking
conservative.
of getting the game, because it's available for the Switch. I think it was like $20 on Amazon, so I was thinking of getting that one.
Don't get on the
But
Switch, dog.
yeah, yeah, but I decided not to. So
Yeah.
so maybe in the
Place
future.
right.
put in the list. Okay.
Yeah,
Yo, if it gets 60 frames on the PS5, bro, maybe.
yeah.
All right, that was cool. Well, that's gonna bring us to the end of yet another podcast, podcast number 29. We have been Roll Jump Media. We do this podcast, we aim to do it every week on Saturdays. We also stream on Twitch if you want to catch us there. And we also have a official website where we post our content there, except our streams. Our streams are going to be on Twitch. So if you want to check us there, out there, and if you want to follow us on social media, we are on most social media outlets. All you have to do is search up Roll Jump Media and your favorite social media, and we should pop up. Thank you sincerely for watching. And my co host, do you have anything to say before we cut it off?
Thank you for tuning in. See you next time.
Keep gaming.
All right, you guys. Thank you for watching. See you next time.